Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you guys are doing good today. Hope you're having a blessed and wonderful day. I'm doing better. My dog had to have a dental procedure done this morning. He's still at the vet. So they said he's doing good. I did a wellness check on him. He's doing good. He has to get some teeth extracted, but that's later on down the road. I'll worry about that later. But my mind is at ease that he's doing well. Those of us who have pets, whether it be cats or dogs, birds, whatso have you, even goldfish or fish, but particularly like cats and dogs, and we grow attached to them. They become part of our family, and so we care about them. Just like I said, they're members of our family. They are fur babies, if you will. So my fur baby is doing good. My dog, um, great dog. He's goofy, but I love that dog. Had him for 3 years now. My wife and I, and just been praying for him, and I'm glad that he's doing good. I was glad to hear that. So that put my mind at ease. That really did. So my day is better. I was stressed. I've been stressing all day. But I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you're having a great day. Getting to the topic for this video. Getting into the topic for this video. So, the 90th birthday, the 90th trip around the sun for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is on Thursday, May 11th, 2 days from now. I wanted to do this video now. I saw tributes for a minute to for the minister's birthday, on social media. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and do this video now. I probably won't be able to do it tomorrow or Thursday. So let me go ahead and do it now. And I'm going to share this video. I'm going to share it today, then I'm going to share it again on Thursday. So I just want to get a jump on things 2 days prior. But on the day of his birthday, which is May 11th, I'm going to share this video again. But what can I say about this man that, he is B1 to the max. He loves Black people. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan loves Black people. He loves us to a fault. Well, I shouldn't say to. He loves us, and we don't deserve that love. I'll just put it that way and correct myself. We don't deserve the love because, and you have to admire this man. The state that Black people are in, we killing each other, we're stealing from each other, we're raping our women, Black men are being raped. We don't love each other. We have so much hate toward each other. It's just so much going on with us. Yes, yes, you could blame the white man, through slavery, mass incarceration, Jim Crow, whatso have you, disenfranchisement, gerrymandering, all these things. We know all this. But you would think going through all that, 400, 500 years actually of oppression, that will bring us closer together. But no, white supremacy has tore us apart. And it's even worse now than it was before because you have far too many Black people. I'll call them niggas. You have far too many niggas that are the gatekeepers for white supremacy. They break their collective necks and backs to be the gatekeepers for white supremacy. But despite all that, the ministers have love for Black people. I have love for Black people too, but not on the level that he has. And I don't even compare my love for Black people to his because it's not even fair, and it doesn't make sense to even do that. This man has been fighting for Black people for for 70 years. 70 years. What, 60, 68 years? 69 years? almost 70 years. He's been in the trenches. Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan, happy 90th anniversary, sir. 90th birthday. I can't thank you enough. I can't. Um, but I wanted to take the time to show my love and appreciation to you and to the Nation of Islam, to the brothers and sisters in the NOI. I may not, my words may come off, not so fancy or professional, what so have you. But you know what? This is from the bottom of my heart. I love that organization because they have been B1 since day one, since July 4th, 1930 in Detroit, Michigan, my hometown. 93 years, well, it will be 93 years in less than 2 months. They have been B1. What black organization, I challenge you, what black organization has been around 93 years and is still standing strong? Yes, the NOI has had their issues. They've had their trials and tribulations, like with any organization. That happens. They've had their hardships. That's normal. But they stood the test of time and they haven't faltered. I say they're stronger now than they were 50, 60 years ago. Look at all that they have gone through with the Detroit police in the 1930s, trying to disband them, sending many of our brothers and sisters to the gulags, the Detroit public schools. You can look all this up. Trying to charge, the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, with truancy for not sending his kids to the Detroit public schools because they wanted to educate their own children. The Nation of Islam wanted to educate their own children, and the Detroit city government couldn't stand it. Years of this went on in Detroit. It's well documented. Battles with the Detroit police, battles with the Detroit public school system. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. But and all this is documented. Their base was still in Detroit, but then they located their headquarters to Chicago, which is 3.5 hours west of Detroit. They're neighbors, two great cities. And they've been in Chicago for 85 years, I think, 80 something years. I can't remember when exactly they moved to Chicago, their headquarters, but it was in the 1930s, the late 1930s, I believe. But they've been in Chicago ever since. Anyone knows, please drop it in the comments. Let me know what year they moved to Chicago, the NOI, with their headquarters. But Mas Miriam is located on the south side of Chicago in the Woodlawn district. No, I'm sorry. Is it the Woodlawn district? I think it is. Haven't been there, but I've been on the south side of Chicago many times. Excellent city. It's a beautiful city. Detroit's a beautiful city, my hometown. But through all that, the messenger Elijah Muhammad was sent to jail in the 1940s for not registering the draft to fight in World War II. Got out of prison, built the nation up. You go to the 1950s. He brought up a young minister who used to be Malcolm Little, became Malcolm X. Fiery, dominant minister. Around the same time, Louis X used to be Louis Eugene Walcott, excuse me, Louis Eugene Walcott brought him up. He was Calypso Jean, born in Boston, Massachusetts, 1933. Parents are from the Caribbean. Great Calypso artist. Great Calypso artist. He gave up that talent. He gave up a career in music to follow the Honorable, the Messenger, Elijah Muhammad. Malcolm was one of his teachers, but the Messenger was a supreme teacher. So you talking about the 1950s. That was a turbulent time for Black people here in this country. Well, pretty much every decade was, but we were fighting for civil rights, primarily in the Deep South, in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, places like that. Segregation, segregation. You know, Dr. King was staging the Montgomery bus boycott in Montgomery, Alabama, 1955, when Rosa Parks was refused a seat on the bus. She was told to sit at that coloreds sit at the rear, whites up front. Rosa Parks sat up front, caused her to go to jail, which started the Montgomery bus boycott, 1955. You had the desegregation of schools in 1957 in Little Rock, Arkansas, at Central Park High School. But before that, 1954, you had Brown versus Board of Education. All this was going on in the 50s. The nation was building. The nation was building strong Black kings, strong Black queens, strong Black princes, boys to be a prince, is what I'm trying to say. Strong Black girls to be princess. They were building. 1950s. Going into the 1960s. Brother Malcolm is still telling the white man the truth to his face. Telling the white devil the truth to his face. So is Brother Lewis X. The Messenger. Still telling the white devil the truth to his face too. They're under his tutelage, building the nation to become stronger, stronger, stronger. Go into the mid 60s, 1964, 65, 1964. We start 1964. That's when Dr. King got the Nobel Peace Prize. That's when the Civil Rights Bill, 1964, the Voting Rights Act was 1965, the Housing Act was 1966. So we started making strides, if you will, in this country for civil rights. Dr. King was, through marching and protesting. And, I respect that, but that's not how the nation wanted to do. I agree with the nation's stance, with what the messenger said. Separation. Separation. Why do you want to integrate with the enemy? Why do you want to integrate with the enemy who hates you, who bombs you, who kills you, who rapes your women? Why do you want to integrate with them? And I'm all for that. I'm all for separation. I can't be more clear than that. Why do we want the enemy to educate our children? And then wonder why. We scratch our heads and wonder why they're not learning anything. Why they're miseducated. Why they don't know their own history. Why they're not learning it. The enemy don't want to teach our kids that they're great. Are you serious? Can you blame them? Why should they? That'd be like Jewish parents sending their kids to get educated by the Nazis. Makes no sense. But yet we want to get close to this. We want to be close to the white man. We want to be close to him, so close to him. We want to integrate with him, intermingle with him. Separation. And I said it on here and I say it again. Black children should not go to school with white children. Black children should not be educated by white people. We're not there yet. They can't educate us. We invented education, for God's sakes. We invented the sciences, the mathematics, geography. We're the supreme beings. How can people who come from us educate us? Yes, they come from us. So how can they educate us? They can't tell us our history. They can't give us knowledge of self. Only we could do that. We always want to integrate with people who hate us. And it drives me nuts. But it goes back to the love that Brother Minister has for Black people, even those who don't have love for themselves. That's saying a lot. That's God. That's God working through him. That's Allah, that supreme will of Allah. Well, you love someone who don't even love themselves, who don't even want to do what's right for themselves, who have hatred of themselves. And it's a lot of our people who have self-hatred. We are a mentally sick people. PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, is so prevalent among our people. It's a crying shame. But despite all that, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan still sees past that and sees greatness in many of us, that he loves us. He wants Black people. Well, before Minister Farrakhan, before Brother Malcolm, before the messenger, Elijah Muhammad even, Marcus Garvey was telling Black people to do for self. Back in the early 1920s, Black people, educate your own children, start your own businesses, build with your people, your own people, those who look like you. Build with them. Start your own. Separate. Matter of fact, leave America, go back to Africa. He started the UNIA. I think that's the United Negro Improvement Association. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, just type it in the comment in the section there. But I believe it was the United Negro Improvement Association. UNIA. Marcus Garvey, the great Marcus Josiah Garvey. May he rest among the ancestors. That's where the nation got their ideology from. Garveyism. Do for self. Build them on your own. Build your own. Educate your own children. Be one philosophy, which Dr. Boyce Watkins preaches all the time. Dr. Claude Anderson preaches all the time. He put in his book, Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth, all of his books. Dr. Claude Anderson will be 88 this year. These are warriors that are still among us. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Claude Anderson. We just lost one 2 weeks ago, the great Harry Belafonte. May he rest among the ancestors. Great warrior. Do for self. And we did that with Black Wall Street. We can still do that now. Black people, if Black people were a country, we'd be the 8th largest economy on the planet. I think even higher than that. Our GDP wealth would be more than some developed nations, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Canada, more than Mexico. more than Sweden, the Netherlands. We have so much spending power, but we waste it. We waste it. We have all this technology. We have all these people with degrees, with education, but yet, why are we so poor? I'm not talking about wealth. I'm talking about the knowledge to help each other out. Black Wall Street. This is my shirt. Black Wall Street. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You had lawyers and doctors. You had those that were educated back then, but not as many then as they are now. They damn shouldn't have the technology back then that we have now, but they were able to generate millions, millions in the 1920s. Before then, despite what was going on in this damn country. But we have all this education, all this knowledge on the internet. Yeah, there are a lot of junk on the internet, but on the internet, you could go find knowledge too. You could go research books, what books to read on the internet. I mean, a lot of y'all on TikTok and Instagram all damn day. Why not do it? All these degrees, all these excellent jobs, and yet we won't do for self. We won't build amongst each other. We won't educate our own children. It makes no sense. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. But it makes no sense. And the minister has been talking about this as long as I can remember. I first found out about the minister in 1984 when when the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, were protecting Reverend Jesse Jackson's family because the Jews called for Reverend Jackson to be murdered because they didn't like the fact that he called New York Town. Meanwhile, at the same time, the minister was speaking at Madison Square Garden. This is 1984, during the presidential election, because Jesse Jackson decided to run for president in '84, and the minister put his support behind him. So did the Nation of Islam, that is. And while he's speaking at Madison Square Garden, the Jews are marching around Madison Square Garden, chanting now, "Who do we want dead? Farrakhan. When do we want him dead? Now." You can look this up. They were chanting that they wanted Minister Farrakhan dead. They didn't want him dead now. They called him the Black Hitler. They dubbed him the Black Hitler. He never said that anything bad about the Jews, about the Jewish community. He never called for the death of anyone in the Jewish community. He just wanted open dialogue and have a truthful dialogue, open and honest, truthful dialogue with the Jewish community, with leaders from the Jewish community. Many of them don't want to do it. A lot of them refuse it. So they call him a black supremacist, a hater, a racist, Black Hitler. He never called for the death of anyone. Anyone. However, if anyone in the Nation of Islam is attacked or black people, yeah, we defend ourselves. Self-defense. The Nation of Islam preaches self-defense. If someone attacks you, you attack back. You defend yourself. My parents taught me that, and they weren't in the Nation of Islam. They were in the Church of God in Christ. They were Pentecostal. They taught me someone hit you, you hit them back. You fight back. You don't start a fight, but you're not anyone's punching bag. You defend yourself. The Nation of Islam tell their members the same thing. Tell black people the same thing. That's what Brother Malcolm was saying back in the 60s, in the 50s and the 60s. We don't go out here provoking attacks. We don't start anything. No, but we ain't not gonna let someone just hit us. Like, God bless them, the Freedom Riders, those who were marching in the South during the 60s, they were getting bust upside the head with bricks, beaten, had coffee poured on them, spit on, had dogs sicked on them, was being sprayed with water hoses, all sorts of things. I agree with what they were trying to do, but I don't agree with the methods. Uh, how can I put it? What they're doing was admirable. I just don't agree with let someone put their hands on you, smack you upside the head with a brick, pouring hot coffee on you. No, smashing cake in your face, spitting on you, sicking German shepherds on you, and spraying you with water hoses, and you singing "We Shall Overcome." No, no, I don't go with that. I get what you're trying to. I get what the end goal is, and I agree with what the end goal is, what you're trying to do. I just don't agree with the methods, if that makes sense. Because you hit me in the face, I'm gonna hit you back. You kick me, I'm gonna kick you back. So I'm all on board with the nation on that one, on everything, as a matter of fact. But going back to the mid 1960s, there was a rift between some rumors came out about infidelities between uh, secretaries in the NOI and the messenger, mainly from the messenger's sons. They were jealous of Brother Malcolm, but the messenger warned him about that. Malcolm left the nation, unfortunately. He decided to lead the nation in 1964. He was on his own. That's when the FBI, the CIA wrapped up their efforts to follow him and to eventually kill him, as well as the NYPD. There were moles planted in the NOI. Yes, there were. There were moles planted in the NOI. Yes, it was. I tell you, they went through their hardships. Going to 1965, um, before Brother Malcolm made his transition, he was writing letters to the messenger to get back into NOI to ask his forgiveness. Malcolm was the prodigal son. He wasn't a Judas. He wasn't a traitor. He was the prodigal son that the Bible speaks of. He was trying to come back to his father, but unfortunately, he was murdered by white supremacist terrorists, the CIA, the FBI, and the NYPD. There was a trifecta. Go all through the 60s, the Black Panthers, Dr. King meets with the Black Panthers 1966. Also the same year, Dr. King and Sister Coretta Scott King moved to the projects on the south side of Chicago. And guess what? Guess who Dr. King met with when he was in Chicago? The messenger, Elijah Muhammad. That's when Dr. King made his transition and started seeing things Malcolm's way. He started being more militant, started calling for reparations, called the American government an evil empire, evil imperialists because of their involvement in Vietnam. How black men were getting sent in Vietnam, dying by the thousands. Those people who marched with him in the 50s and 60s, many of them black preachers, turned their back on Dr. King. You can look this up. White liberals turned their back on Dr. King. The Democrats, who y'all vote for till this day, look this up. They hated Dr. King. He was the most hated man in America leading up to the time of his death. Now people want to say, these liberals want to say how much they love him. They love Dr. King. We love Dr. King. We love him. We love him. We love him. That's a damn lie. They hated that man. In 1967, leading up to his death, in April of 68, they hated him. They hated him. Had the Black Panthers, they were fighting the cops out here in police brutality out here in Oakland and in LA. Lil Bobby Hutton was murdered by the Oakland PD. You had the carnage down there in LA. Um, Brother Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. was murdered in Chicago, on the west side of Chicago, 1969. Going to the 1970s. Nation still doing their thing. The Honorable, the Messenger, Elijah Muhammad, puts out a great book, The Fall of America, 1973, 2 years before his transition. That's when the rift in 75, 76, 77, 78, that's when the rift in the nation came about. Warworth D. Muhammad, Wallace D. Muhammad, as he was occasionally known, took over leadership of the nation. He stole his father's businesses. He put an American flag in a mosque and he called it the American, I forgot what he called it, but he wanted to unite it to become more mainstream Islam, more Sunni Islam. That's not what his father wanted. And that caused a lot of people in the nation to leave. I know some people, matter of fact, a person I consider to be family, they left the nation during that time, 1977, 78. Minister Farrakhan built the nation back up. He spent 1978, 79, 80, 81, 82 building the nation up. 4 or 5 years he spent building the nation up back to where his teacher, the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, had it. They've done a lot of good, they've done great things. I've witnessed it. They ran out gangbangers and drug pushers out of the projects in Northwest Detroit, the Herman Garden projects. I witnessed it. When I lived in Detroit, they used to be on the streets selling the final call and a bag of oranges, giving knowledge, giving knowledge of self to the people, out in the blistering cold, out in the hot sun, day in and day out. They were out in the community, helping the homeless, brothers that were in prison, making them into strong Black kings, Black women that were on drugs, brothers too, Black women who were doing God knows what, turning into Black queens, into better mothers, wives. Telling a Black man, get off drugs, stop gang banging, stop killing your own. You have a knowledge of self. We're going to give you a knowledge of self. You come from greatness. You're descended from greatness. Build up your community. Be a strong father, husband, pillars in your community. They were doing this. They've been doing this for decades. What organization that you know of, all Black organization that you know of, is still here? and still doing the work for Black people? Put it in the chat. I would love to hear it. Not the Black Panthers. Saw what happened to them. Please don't say the NAACP. They're puppets for the for white supremacy. Please don't say the Congressional Black Caucus. There isn't one. The Nation of Islam. I know this is about Minister Farrakhan, his 90th birthday, but it goes to it still ties in to him. I remember in the 1980s, he was on Donahue just telling white people the truth, and they could not handle it. They could not handle it. They were just so in their feelings and their emotions, but he was giving it to them raw, telling it like it is. First time I saw him on TV was in '84. It was on Ted Koppel, Nightline. Those of you who old enough to remember, Nightline with Ted Koppel should come on at 11:30 at night. He was on there. He was on Phil Donahue many times. Um, 1990s, him and Dr. Khalid Muhammad, may he rest among the ancestors. Brother Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, my man, was right by the minister's side. He was on Donahue telling white people the truth. They could not handle it. They could not handle it. They were so in their emotions and in their feelings. But they didn't give a damn. They still was telling these people the truth to their face. Yes, the NOI is the most successful, and Islam is the true religion, especially for Black people. Agreed. But 95, the minister, well, 94, late 93 into 94, all of 94, and early 95, the minister was going around the country speaking and doing lectures, building up for the Million Man March, which was on October 16th, 1995, on the Mall in Washington. Over 2 million. Let me repeat myself. Over 2 million. Over 2 million Black men showed up on the Mall in Washington. It was the largest march in on the mall's history to date. Way more than the March on Washington in '63. Way more. He called for Black men to be pillars in their community, which I just mentioned a couple minutes ago, to be pillars in their community, better husbands, better fathers, to make a pledge to change their communities. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend it, and it's one of my regrets in life. I wish I was there. My brother was there. One of my older brothers was there. My uncle was there. He took I want to say maybe two or three busloads of people from Detroit to Washington D.C. to attend the Million Man March. I want to say maybe two busloads, maybe three, but he was there. The Million Man March. They did another march. On the 20th anniversary, they did a 10-year march in 2005. That didn't get much press, but that was a big event. But I remember the Million Man March '95 was on C-SPAN, and BET showed live coverage because I watched it on BET. That's when BET was for Black people. That's when BET was B1. Matter of fact, Ed Gordon. How many of y'all remember Brother Ed Gordon? the anchor on BT News from my hometown of Detroit. Light skinned brother, great brother, great brother. He was he broadcast on the Million Man March, matter of fact. Sure did. Over 2 million black men across the country, from New York, Miami, Philly, Chicago, LA, Detroit, Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, wherever, all converged from Washington, D.C. and pledged to be better husbands and fathers and pillars in their communities, despite their differences. Who could have done that? Not Obama, not damn sure not Bill Good Bill Clinton, who y'all dubbed the first black president, not Jim Crow Joe, President Quaker Oats, not Kamala Harris, not the CBC or the NAACP, Minister Farrakhan. They had a 10-year, like I said, they had a 10-year anniversary in '05. That didn't get much press, but I think that was on BT also. Was it on BT? It may not have been, but I remember that. But the 20th anniversary commemoration of the Million Man March of 2015, I wanted to attend that, but I couldn't. Second regret. That was in Washington. Uh, that had a large turnout. The 20th commemoration had more people than the March on Washington. And the minister was what, 82 years old in 2015 at the 20th commemoration of the Million Man March. They had well over a million at the 20th commemoration, more than the March on Washington. There probably was more than that because the mall estimates, they don't want to give black men credit for bringing black people together. Now if they was fighting and all and they're carrying on and some chaos, then they'll be the first to report it and blame them for it. But at the Million Man March in '95, the 10-year commemoration, the 20th commemoration, there was not one incident at either one of these events. Not a one. Not even a fight. Not a one. Give this man his respect. I'm not talking about white people. They're gonna do what they do. I'm not worried about them. I'm talking about black people. Black people, give this man his respect. I know many of black people who do not like the Nation of Islam. I'm not no Muslim. The Muslims, Islam, Farrakhan. He hate white people. No, he don't hate white people. He just want black people to love black people. He want us to love ourselves first. Take care of ourselves first and foremost. Be one to the max. Why can't y'all see that? Like I said, I don't give a damn about white people. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to black people. That's what my concern is. Why can't y'all see that? If you don't want to agree with them, that's fine. That's your right. The minister gets it. He gets it. Not everyone is going to see his viewpoints. He understands that. He doesn't have an issue with that. But does Joe Biden agree with other Democrats? Bernie Sanders don't agree with Jim Crow Joe, but they stay on code when it comes to it. Chuck Schumer don't agree with Bernie Sanders, don't agree with other Democrats or even Republicans. But guess what? They stay on code. They stay on code. White people don't always agree with each other. They do not. But one thing they will do is stay on code. Every race of people does this, but black people, and it drives me insane. Asian people don't agree with other Asians. Hispanics don't agree with other Hispanics. Hell, people in the LGBTQ community don't agree with one another. Don't agree with one another. But one thing they do agree on, they stay on code. This is what Dr. Claude Anderson's been preaching for decades. Dr. Boyce Watkins and the minister has been preaching it for decades, even before them. What an NOI. We have to agree to disagree without being disagreeable. This is what Dr. Khalid Muhammad said also. Agree to disagree without being disagreeable. This is what I say when I end my videos. I always say that. Let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. We have to stay on code, especially now more than ever. This enemy is working quadruple overtime to take us out. We have to stay on code. We have to stay on code. We have to. It behooves us, Black people. Give the minister his flowers. I'd be remiss if I didn't give my respect and love to Mother Khadijah Farrakhan. Mother Khadijah, I salute you. I salute you, ma'am. Sister Donna Farrakhan, the minister's daughter, Brother Mustafa Farrakhan. Them the two of his children that I know of. I know he lost a son not so long ago, a few years back. He has a big family, huge family. So Donna Farrakhan I know of, Mustafa Farrakhan, who's like right by him when he speaks, his trusted aide. Um, well, foremost, most important is Mother Khadijah Farrakhan. Mother Khadijah. Blessings to y'all. They've been married 70 years. They've been married 70 years. I remember the minister mentioning that he and Mother Khadijah got married the same day the late President John F. Kennedy married Jacqueline Kennedy, the same day, 1953. I can't remember the day of the anniversary, but I believe their 70th anniversary is coming up. God bless them. May Allah continue to bestow his blessings upon them, the minister, his family, and the brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. I love y'all dearly. Happy 90th birthday, sir. Happy 90th birthday. Thank you, brother minister, for what you've done for me. I know you don't know me. I hope to meet you someday and just tell you face to face that I want to thank you. Thank you for fighting for our people. Thank you for sacrificing and risking your life for us. Thank you. I know my words may not be the best, and but I just want to thank. It's from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, brother minister. I love you, brother minister. I love you, Nation of Islam. I just want to thank y'all for being there for Black people, for being there for us, for fighting for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, brother minister. I love and respect you. Yup, I remember when the brother minister was on Arsenio Hall. It was in '94. He brought him on. He was his only guest. Arsenio took a lot of slack for that from people in Hollywood, Whoopi Goldberg. Uh, there was a lady on his staff that didn't even want to show up for work that day. People on his staff turned their back on him. They had a huge problem with Arsenio bringing the minister on his show. That was my favorite episode of the Arsenio Hall show, was the episode with the minister. It's in '94. It's on YouTube. But I believe, and what many have said, that is what got Arsenio Hall show canceled was that he brought the minister on. They said, well, ratings, ratings. No, that's not true because they weren't concerned about ratings a week before that or even the day before that. But as soon as he brought the minister on, oh well, ratings were tanking. This Jay Leno, and that's BS. That's BS. That's such BS. It's because he brought brother minister on, and they did not like that. CBS did not like that, and that's why they didn't renew Arsenio for the foreseeable future. He had a show again back in 2013, but it wasn't the same, and it didn't last long. I think it lasted a few months. I mean, he was able to come back, but it was like what, 20 years later, and it wasn't the same. And then, like I said, it was only a few months. But that's why they canceled Arsenio Hall because he brought the minister on it. He brought the minister on the show. But kudos to Arsenio for doing that, for having the gumption and a testicular fortitude to bring brother minister on, despite the backlash, despite it. No black man has risked his life for black people like the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has. Like I said, almost 70 years, 90 years young. The nation has had its ups and downs, but it is stronger now than it was ever before. Happy birthday, Brother Minister. I thank you. I thank you for what you've done for black people. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't stress this enough. I have love for this man. I've seen what the NOI has done in Detroit, what they've done in Chicago, what they've done in Newark, New Jersey, Philly, in Atlanta, out here in Oakland, LA, Dallas, Houston, Tampa. I've seen it. Milwaukee. They have been on the forefront for us. Did y'all know that the FOI provided security for the jurors during the OJ trial? I'm going to repeat myself again. The FOI provided security for the jurors in the OJ Simpson trial, including OJ's defense team, Johnny Cochran, F. Lee Bailey, Robert Kardashian, Kim Kardashian's daddy, the late Robert Kardashian. What's the other guy? Oh my God, Bob Shapiro. They provided security for the jurors and the OJ's defense team, Johnny Cochran included, brother Johnny, especially him. White jurors and white attorneys. They don't want to tell you that though. They sure did. The FOI provided security for Michael Jackson. Look it up. They provided security for Tupac while he was in the hospital. Matter of fact, they escorted him to the hospital when he got shot in New York at that the studio house. They were there at the hospital with him. They provided security for Tupac, for Michael Jackson, for the jurors on the OJ trial, and OJ's defense team, for the Reverend Jesse Jackson and his family while he was running for president in 1984. That's just to name a few. Wow, you tweeted the minister years ago, and you got a response from my tweet. Of course, it was. Yeah, that's not. Thank you for bringing that up. What was it? Last year, 2 years ago, they Twitter suspended the minister's account. I think he still has it now. They brought it back with Elon Musk owns Twitter, so Twitter still is on that BS. They still on that BS, but whatever. But I think they brought his account back. Yeah, the NOI, but the Fruit of Islam provided. So, I mean, they provided security. The NOI, let me rephrase it. The NOI provided the FOI as security for the jurors on the OJ trial, his defense team, Michael Jackson, and Tupac. Like I said, just to name a few. So yeah, that's what I meant. The NOI provided the FOI as security. But yeah, but and just like I said, just to name a few others. Just that's just a few. But they have done like a lot in Detroit, the FOI, well, the nation, because FOI cleaned their projects up in Detroit. They ran the drug dealers and the gangbangers out of the projects in Detroit. They've done a lot in the city of Detroit. Strong brothers, strong. They've done a lot in Baltimore. One of many cities where the NOI is making a difference. An army, an army. And Malcolm trained them. Brother Malcolm trained them. Final Call newspaper, the greatest source of news that you could get. They are fair and balanced. The Final Call newspaper, great media. You can't get any better than that. They don't have any obligations to the Democrats or the Republicans. They tell the truth straight down the middle. They tell what's going on in the black community. Yes, they tell what's going on in the nation and in the world, of course, because those are hot topics and they need to be discussed. But they give it from a black perspective. And they tell what's going on in the black community. They highlight that too. Love the Final Call. I just love the nation. But yeah, happy 90th birthday, brother minister. May Allah grant you longer days. May He grant you a long, long life. A long life. 90 years. 90 years. Wow. I'm more than halfway there. I'm 47. So, well, a couple of years, half past halfway there. But wow, 90. He's done a lot in those 90 years. A lot. A lot. The minister is a great violinist. There's videos of him playing with, uh, I can't think where this orchestra was from. Was it the New York Symphony Orchestra or Boston? But there's videos of him, you know, um, playing his violin at a concert. Excellent violinist. Excellent. People in hip hop love the minister. Well, let me clarify that. Older the older generation of hip hop heads love the minister. The Chuck D's, KRS One, Rakim, Snoop, Eminem. Eminem. There's a photo of the minister speaking with Eminem, and Eminem just listening to him, just listening to him. What white rapper you know will sit down and listen to the minister? Say what you will about Eminem, whatever, but what white rapper do you know will sit down and listen to the minister? Public Enemy has great respect for the minister, as well as, like I said, Chuck D. Ice Cube. People, well, I can't say this generation of hip hop because this generation of hip hop is not hip hop. It's garbage. It's toxicity. It's may as well be something from the LGBTQ because that's what it's going toward. This version of hip hop that we got out now is complete and utter garbage. It's trash. It's sewer trash. I'm talking about hip hop from my generation. The Poor Righteous Teachers, Brand Nubian. That older generation of hip hop heads love the minister, love the NOI. Lord Jamar, Professor Griff, love the minister, love the NOI. Because the minister has influence among older people in hip hop throughout the 80s and into the 90s, into the 2000s. The NOI. So the minister has love among lots and lots of people. He was friends with the late great Harry Belafonte. He was friends with the late great Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul, Marvin Gaye. He mentored Rick James. Biggie mentioned him. He sure did. Deep like the mind of Farrakhan. He sure did. Michael Jackson had love for the minister. Tupac, Ice Cube. Ice Cube had brother Dr. Khalid Muhammad on his tracks. So did Public Enemy back in the 80s. Shaka Khan. All these artists from Motown, R&B, hip hop, they love the minister. Love him. Love him. Because he's made a difference in their lives, as well as many of us who may not be famous. Yup, on Predator, he sure did. I remember that. Happy 90th birthday, brother minister. I hope this video, I don't know if this video will get out to the minister. If it does, it does. If it don't, then it don't. It's not important if it does. But I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, just speak words of gratitude and wish him a happy 90th trip around the sun. I wanted to do that out of respect and love for him. Just, out of my from my own words. I wouldn't feel right if I didn't do it. I did it last year. I think I did it the year before. I know I wish him I did a video for his 89th birthday last year. So I want to do one for especially for his 90th birthday and more birthdays. His 91st, his 95th, his century mark. Allah permits it. And I believe he will. But in any event, I just want to thank y'all for taking the time to listen to this video. I know I've been on here for over an hour. I just want to just thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. Please support my podcast and my YouTube channel. Hit that like button, smash that like button down, hit the subscribe button. Share this video. Share this video. Get it out there on social media. Let's have a conversation. But support the podcast and my YouTube channel. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let's show love to the minister. Happy 90th birthday, sir. Happy 90th birthday. We thank you for everything that you've done for us. Much love. Much love to your beautiful wife, Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, your children, your grandchildren. I don't think you may even have great grandchildren. But much love to your family, your whole family. Much love to the Nation of Islam, the fruit of Islam. Much love to all the brothers and sisters. Keep up the great work. I love y'all. I love y'all dearly. I have friends of mine who are in the NOI. So let me know what y'all think of this video. Please share it, drop your comments, hit the like button, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. I'm gonna hop off of here. I think I made my point well known about the minister, his accomplishments, and his birthday, how much I love and appreciate him. So y'all take care. God bless. I love y'all. I love y'all dearly. Please be safe, brothers as well as sisters. Beware and be aware. This devil is busy. He's working quadruple overtime. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So please be aware of your surroundings. Please be safe. Y'all take care of yourselves and each other. All right. I love y'all and I'm out. And like I always say, we don't have to agree, but let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. I love y'all dearly. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. And please share this video. And I hope I did the minister justice with doing this video. It's from the bottom of my heart. And I just wanted to show my love and appreciation for him. His birthday not until Thursday, 2 days from now, May 11th. But I'm gonna share this video again. I'm gonna share it today, and then I'm gonna share it again on Thursday because I know I wouldn't have the chance to do it on Thursday. So, any event, y'all take care. God bless. I love y'all. Peace and blessings.